Hi, good morning and happy Sunday. I am going to the pool. That's why I'm dressed like this. I don't usually do videos on Facebook wearing just my swimsuit. But I wanted to talk to you about today the things that nobody talks about when you're going to have weight loss surgery. And one of those things is body hair. I don't know if it's that as we lose weight, we get smaller and everything gets smaller. So you notice that you have more hair. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. But it could also be related to the fact that your hormones are out of control. Especially the first year after surgery. Your hormones are still adjusting to the new way you eat. They're adjusting to you're still healing from surgery. So it's completely normal for your hormones to be out of sync. Some people experience irregularity with their periods. Some people have an increased sex drive. Other people lose their sex drive altogether. And if I'm being completely honest, that has been the case with me. I have no sexual desire at all. I am seeing my doctor for this, so I am being treated. So I encourage everyone that is experiencing any strange symptoms or anything that's out of the norm for them, discuss it with your doctors. Make sure that they're aware of what you're feeling and what you're going through. If you don't tell them, they can't guess. So, like I said, I'm going to the pool, but I still wanted to do my makeup and share with all of you the things that are also going on. So like I said, hair, that includes facial hair. It also includes hair in other parts of your body. The person that waxes my eyebrows, the person that does my eyebrows, recommended that I start shaving my face with a tinkle razor. I just had it. What did I do with it? With a tinkle razor. So like the normal razor you would use for your eyebrows. Because it helps exfoliate your skin on your face. And it also helps makeup go on smoother, which is great because I do my makeup every single day. Not for work, but because I am a Lime Life beauty guide. So I do my makeup really often. And if it's going to help it go on smoother and it's going to help me use less product, that's a great thing. So like I said, I'm going to the pool, but I still wanted to do my makeup and I still wanted to talk to you. Another thing that nobody tells you after surgery is, oh, found the razor. Here it is. Another thing that nobody tells you after surgery is you're going to feel different. You're going to feel different, and that's not always a good thing. Or it's not always a bad thing. I'm going to use my Lime Life Foundation Chantel one now. One of the things that changes, or that has changed for me, is the fact that I find myself to be less tolerant now. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that I feel more empowered, that I feel like my voice matters and my feelings matter, and that I'm willing to put up with less from people. But I think that's probably the reason. That as you start losing the weight and you start feeling more confident, because I don't know about you, but when I gained all the weight that I gained, I got it up to 285 pounds. And as I've mentioned in other videos, I'm only 5'2.5", 5'3" if I'm feeling generous with myself. Or if the doctor's feeling generous when he's, doing the paperwork. I used to put up with a lot. No wasn't a word I used often. Even when I didn't feel like doing things, I would do them because I felt I had no choice, because I didn't want confrontation. It was easier just to say yes and avoid the argument than to stand up for myself and say, no, that's not what I want to do. Now that I feel more confident, now that I feel more like myself, I find that it's easier for me to share my opinions. It is still a work in progress, the fact that I still say yes most of the time. Because my family and my friends are my soft spot. And if they ask something from me, I will usually say yes, even if it's hard for me to do, or even if it's going to inconvenience me, I will usually say yes, because I still have a hard time saying no. So I'm getting better, but I still have a hard time. Another thing that happens is a lot of people struggle with their personal relationships. And I think it also has to do with the fact that we're not used to saying no. We're not used to having an opinion. We're a lot more used to just saying yes and doing whatever our partner or anyone else wants from us than we are to standing up for ourselves. And that involves, let's say you had social media before. Well, you probably didn't post a lot of pictures of yourself when you were at your heaviest. I know some people do, but I'm just talking about myself. So for years, I really didn't post a ton of pictures of myself because I wasn't confident about the way I looked, and I didn't want people to comment on the way I looked. So I would just not post. Like, for example, if I took my kids to the park, you would probably see pictures of my husband with my kids. And even though I was there, I was the one taking the pictures because I would rather have them in the pictures and not me, because I wouldn't want to open myself up for criticism in social media, or I didn't want my friends to see me. That may seem silly to some people, but when you're in this situation, when you've gotten to a point where you don't feel confident and where you just want to feel invisible, you just want to disappear, it makes a lot of sense. And for me, I didn't post a ton of pictures of myself, and when I did, I made sure they were like from here up, nothing else. I would make sure you couldn't really see my body. Wow, holy pigment Batman. That's the great thing about these products, is they're highly pigmented, so a little goes a long way. But sometimes I put them on my face and I'm like, whoa, what did I do? But if you feel that it's too bright, you can always go back with your foundation brush and cover it up a bit. Anyway, I didn't appear in my social media. I didn't post pictures of myself because I was embarrassed. I didn't want my friends and my family to see me, especially my friends that have been my friends for years. I didn't want them to see me like this because that wasn't me, and I felt like I wasn't me. So I didn't post pictures. I didn't participate a lot in my kids' life, and that is something that I regret, because now that I think about it, my kids are 8 and 9 right now. When they grow up and they're adults, and let's say I'm no longer here, they won't have photographic memories. Someone might tell them, oh, do you remember that time we went to Disney World? They'll probably say yes. But they won't have a picture to say, oh yeah, mom was there. They'll have pictures that say dad was there. But what about me? I was there as well. And they won't have that. And they won't have it because I was too afraid to show myself that I preferred, at that time, I preferred to hide. And now I regret it. Because regardless of how big I was, I know my kids loved me. And I know my true friends wouldn't have made a comment about my weight. But I know that now. I didn't know it at the time. I know it now. And that is something I regret. So now, yes, I am smaller now. So yes, I feel more confident. And now I will post pictures on social media, and I will post pictures with my kids. When my kids were born, or a little bit after they were born, I created an email for each of them. And I wanted to write them an email at least once a year for their birthdays, so that when they're 18, or maybe it'll be sooner, but when they're 18, my thought was that I would give them the password, and I will tell them, here are all these emails about the things that I felt throughout the years as they relate to you. Like, I want them to see what their relationship with me was throughout the years. So I wanted to share that. And it's something I did, and it's something that I'm proud that I did. But I wish I had just had more pictures with them. I wish I hadn't been so afraid to put myself out there, that now my kids won't have any memories, any photos of things they did with me. But it is what it is. They're still 8 and 9, so I still have a lot of time to do that. And I certainly plan on doing a lot of that. But another thing that changes is your relationship with your partner. And this is a touchy subject. Because as you start sharing more of yourself in social media, as you start hanging out more with your friends, if your partner is not supportive, if your partner is not, doesn't feel secure enough in your relationship, it will bring problems. Because they will probably think that either you're flirting on purpose, or they're going to think that you're flaunting yourself because you want to get attention from other men or other women, whichever is the case. And that might not necessarily be true, but that's how they're going to feel, because they're just insecure in their relationship. And I totally get it, because when you are not confident in yourself and you're willing to put up with a lot of things in a relationship that maybe you wouldn't have, or that maybe you would no longer put up with, and you start facing your partner and you start saying no, and you start saying, oh, I want to do this instead of that, you start having an opinion, they're not going to like that. And a lot of relationships after bariatric surgery end up in divorce. And it's not that bariatric surgery causes the divorce. It's more like there were underlying issues from before that were never addressed. And now you don't want to put up with them. So now they're a problem. Because you let so much time go by in the relationship that now they're a problem, and now you don't want to deal with them. Another thing that nobody talks to you about is that this is not only a physical change, this is a psychological change. But the relationship you had with your body before needs to change. I remember before when I went to a store and I didn't want to try on clothes because I knew they weren't going to fit. So I would probably go to the store and I wouldn't buy anything for myself. Well, now I have no choice. I have to try it on because it might be too big on me. Before it might have been too small. Now it might be too big. But it's still a struggle, because when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're still going to see yourself. Like in my case, I still see myself as 285 pounds. And I'm not. So it's still a struggle when I go into the store to say, well, yeah, I can wear that. I still find myself gravitating to the plus size section of the store, even though I know that's not my size. That clothes is not going to fit because it's not my size. And then I find myself going to, I don't know, the regular women's section. I'm 36 years old. But I don't want to dress up like a grandmother. And you start wanting to reveal more of yourself and dress the way maybe you would have dressed when you were in your 20s, and you didn't because you were at a higher weight. And that's a struggle. And your partner is going to struggle with that. He's going to struggle with the way that you feel about yourself now, because If he's insecure, he's going to think you're doing it for someone else. He won't understand that you're really just doing it for yourself because you like the way you look, because you want to feel sexier, or you feel more confident in certain type of clothes that you were never able to wear before. So depending on your relationship and how strong your relationship is and how secure in your relationship your partner is, that might cause some issues for you. In my personal case, I never ask my husband whether I can wear something or not wear it. I buy clothes for myself. I wear them for myself. And I think that's the way it should be. I don't need permission from anyone to dress in any way I want. Granted, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I would have never dared. Whoops. Everything's falling here. I wouldn't have dared to do a video wearing a bikini top. But this is me today. It doesn't mean I'm doing this video or sharing this video because I want a ton of compliments or a ton of messages or a ton of anything from anyone. It just means that this morning when I was sitting here and I was about to do my makeup, I decided to share, and this is what I was wearing. But it takes a lot for our partners to understand that. It takes a lot for our partners to accept this new confidence or this new person that is suddenly living with them or in their house. I say it again, it's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes commitment. And it also takes a little bit of giving, and it's giving and taking. Because if there are things that you wouldn't put up with, things that you no longer want to put up with, you just need to say it and not put up with them. I'm not recommending everyone that has surgery goes out and get a divorce. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, if you're in a relationship and you're changing and you're feeling good about yourself, and your partner is unwilling to accept that change, because maybe unwilling or maybe they're unable to accept that change, and you've had the conversation, well, then maybe you need to consider what's more important. If it's you and your emotional well-being, or if it's them and what they want for you and from you, because you might not be willing to give them what they want anymore. And that's why a lot of couples end up in divorce, because they can't find the middle ground. And I know a lot of women usually support their husbands when they have dreams and ambitions, but not all men are willing to help their wives with their dreams and ambitions. So it's very important that you have that discussion with your partners, that you sit down and that you explain things to them, that you explain that when you're posting a video on YouTube, or when you're posting a video or doing a live on Facebook, or posting on a picture of yourself on Instagram, it's very important that you help them understand that you're doing it for you, that you're doing it because you want to do that you're not doing it for anybody else. And that's hard, because most of our lives, we become used to doing things for others. We do things others want from us. And it's hard for our partners, and I totally get it. It's very hard for our partners to accept that now we want to do things for us. That, for example, in my family, we've moved a lot. Ever since I was a little girl, we've moved a lot. So I've always been, around houses and doing house searches. And even though I wasn't looking for a house, I always had real estate apps on my phone, or in my on my websites and things, I was always very familiar about house hunting because I loved it. I loved going to a house and thinking of the ways I would decorate and all of that. So it's only logical for me to say, if I love that so much, why am I not in real estate? So I said, why not? Why don't I just get my real estate license if I enjoy it so much? And I am planning on doing that now at 36, something that I wouldn't have done before. And some people are like, oh, but now, you know, if you start working with clients, I work from home. I've been working from home for about 5 or 6 years. And they're like, oh, but now you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to meet with clients and you're going to have to do all these things, which I'm actually looking forward to. I'm actually looking forward to doing all of that. You know, having meetings and dressing up and doing my makeup and all that stuff. I'm actually really, really looking forward to that. And some people don't understand it. And again, it comes to the fact that, why do you want to do this now that you didn't want to do it before? It's not that I didn't want to do it before. It's that I didn't feel confident enough to do it. Another thing that people don't talk to you about is that when you look at yourself in the mirror, yes, you're going to see yourself, you're going to see that you're smaller, but you're not going to be smaller the way you think you will. Like, it's impossible for a 285-pound body to shrink down to 170 pounds in a year and not have loose skin. So sometimes when I look in the mirror, this is loose skin. And I exercise, and I know I have to exercise more. But sometimes it's a struggle to look at myself in the mirror and say, damn. Sorry, my stomach is talking. That's another thing. They don't tell you your stomach will start speaking. It'll start rumbling and grumbling and making noises at the most awkward times, the most inappropriate times. It'll do that. It'll gargle and bubble and speak. And it's probably because I haven't eaten in 2 hours and I'm not drinking water. So yeah, oops, yeah, that happened. I'll fix it. So it's important that you're forgiving with yourself. That when you look at yourself in the mirror and you see you have loose skin, that you're not too hard on yourself. Yes, you can exercise, but exercise won't eliminate the loose skin. It'll harden your muscles, it'll tighten them, but the loose skin is still going to be there. The only way to get rid of it is plastic surgery, and some people are open to that, some people are not. I want to lose another 40 pounds before I go in for a consultation. I want to get my breasts done because, well, I need to. I don't need to. Nobody needs to get plastic surgery. I want to. That should be the word. I want to. And obviously, my stomach. I wouldn't have plastic surgery on my arms because I don't want the scar because it stretches from your elbow all the way down here. I don't want to have that scar, so I will learn to live with bat wings. And you know what? Until I can have plastic surgery, I'm going to be proud. I'm going to be proud of my stretch marks. I'm going to be proud of the loose skin because it's there because I made it. It's there because I'm closer to my goal. It's there because I'm no longer morbidly obese. It's there because I earned each and every stripe. Each and every stripe. I earned it. So yeah, your body's not going to look perfect. You're going to be smaller. You're going to fit in smaller size clothes. I went from a 20 to an 8. Do I look like a Barbie model? No. Do I look like a Victoria's Secret angel? No. Do I look like one of those models in the Fredericks of Hollywood website that are wearing beautiful lingerie? Hell no. But am I proud of where I am? Yes. Am I happy I finally got here? Absolutely. So this video has run a little longer than I had expected. I guess once I start talking, I can't stop rambling. I did my makeup. Still don't know what I'm going to wear, but it will have to be something neutral because I have greens and yellows and oranges in my eyes. I just hope everyone has a great Sunday, a great week. And I hope that this helps someone. Either someone that's still considering surgery, someone who recently had surgery, or someone who feels like they fell off the wagon like I do. I have 40 pounds left to lose. And I'm going back to... Don't know how to speak and put on lipstick at the same time. I'm going back to basics. Low carb, high protein, medium fats, good fats. And when I say carbs, I mean carbs from vegetables. Not rice, not pasta. Nothing like that. Back to basics. Back to the program that has worked. Back to the program that my doctor recommended for me when I went to pre-op. Again, this journey is about a lot more than weight. This journey is about each and every one of us reconnecting with ourselves, finding ourselves, loving ourselves, and being a healthier, better version of each of ourselves. So the journey is not going to be the same for everyone. We're all human. We're all going to fall. But is the journey worth it? Hell yes. And the person that you're going to discover at the other end is so worth discovering. I am so happy I discovered myself. I am so happy I decided to fight for myself. I am so proud of myself for everything that I have achieved so far. And I am so grateful for all the friends and all the family and all the followers that have decided to join me in this journey, that have joined me as support, that have cheered me on, and that have been there when I've cried because I don't know if I can do it anymore. This journey will cost you a lot of friends. It will cost you relationships, but you will gain the most important of all. You will gain a loving and happy relationship with yourself. Have a great day and have a great week. Bye.